Okay, we're back. We're back. I had to change my laundry over. I would have been very mad if I forgot. Hi, Trisha. I hope you're taking care of yourself, love. I went to sit down and start the live, and I was like, oh, laundry. Laundry needs to go in the dryer. That would be bad. Hi, Nightmare. So let's do all the things that we know to do, all the good things that TikTok likes. Boop that screen share the live out. Do your daily heart me if you have not. Why would you come in here to start trouble with her, Jasper? Why? Why would you do that? Don't let Josiah in here. Yeah, dishes drive me up the wall, Eli. I don't mind doing the laundry, it's the folding. But I've gotten a pretty good routine now that I'm like, okay. Why are you making her mad? Jasper, she's just laying here. Leave her alone. Why don't I support Trump? Because I don't see him doing policies that are beneficial to the American people in any way. So that's why. I am bringing up people when we hit 2,000 likes so that we can hopefully have more conversations than just one, but I absolutely will bring up. I saw that you are in the queue, and I have no problem having a conversation with you once we get to 2,000 likes. We support Trump because we love law and order. Say that again after you've talked about his 34 felonies. Okay. Democrats love crime. I don't know, do they? I'm not a Democrat. Thank you guys for getting up to 2K. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for being patient. Taco, how are you today?
Beautiful day. I'm great.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How old are you and what state did you vote in?
42 Florida.
Okay, why are you still supporting him?
We're doing a major cleansing of this nation. We're changing things that's the word we're going to use because a lot of it's been talks. You know, we've watched presidents do tons of talks. Obama said he would help schools, and all these presidents say they help things. We don't really see the major help. We see some help. We see billions of dollars being invested, but we never see the actual, money being used. The amount of fraud in our country is beyond our schooling system.
What fraud have they exposed?
Our schooling system is in the hundreds of millions of fraud.
Which schooling system?
All of it. You can look up the Department of Education waste between 150 to 500 million dollars.
Where are you getting that from?
So we're gonna get up on Google. Here we go. I need sources. I need things because
I can
have a conversation with you.
Yep.
All right. So I gotta pause this. Here we goes.
Okay.
All right, here we are. Estimated the exact amount of money wasted in the American education system in the tens or even hundreds of billions of dollars annually.
Where is this from?
This comes from, according to the FEE.org. Are you okay? Do you need exact statistics to think that people are just lying to you, that you don't think billions of fraud is happening? Where does your mind go when you go,
I would like to see where that fraud is.
How do you not think it's happening?
What's the title? You said FEE.org?
Yeah, one study estimates that public school wastes about 148 billion annually, according to FEE.org. I'm just sitting here that you're debating that fraud is in our school system.
That based off of what?
You're debating fraud is not even in our education system.
I didn't say that.
Well, you didn't. You did not say it.
I didn't say that. I'm asking for.
And you're also saying you're not a Democrat. You don't play a side. You're going to hang out in the middle.
I'm an independent. That is what I am classified as under my voting, so that I can get both primary ballots.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's just in my state, I prefer to be an independent so that I can look at both primary ballots.
Okay. Well, I want to let you know, pretty basically.
Yes, his picture from Jan 6.
It is. So pretty basically that if you're for the right, we're for exactly what you're seeing. Strong borders, a cleansing of our immigration.
Why do you keep using the term cleansing?
Because that's what it is.
Why?
It's a wash.
Cleansing of who?
It's a washing of the dirt in our country. And you can say he's racist. It's a skin color. He's talking about skin color. I've heard it all before.
Out right now.
Hey, I promise you, I'm not super calm. Can hit the brakes anytime you need me to. Very passionate about.
I still want to find this. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to find this.
Yeah, you go ahead. Why don't you just ask Google or look at FEE and just say, "Hey,
FEE.org. What's the title of that?"
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we have to hit the brakes because you're debating if there's fraud in our education.
You don't know the title of the article that you're referencing?
I pulled up a Google and it brought me to some sources.
That's not how you.
And then she's going to say that's not a nada and nadas. And
that's not how you vet sources, though.
Dude, how about this? Let's pull back the source. Do you think there's fraud in our? Stop interrupting me on this simple question.
Oh, that's cute.
It's so simple.
What did you Google so then I can find where you're pulling this from?
How much money is wasted in our education system in America? And this is their level of debate, guys. It's
sources. I know it's
because you can't say yes. There's fraud in our education. Oh my God!
You quoted AI overview for fuck's sake.
No, it's down there. Go ahead and swipe your little. Once again, I don't need to be muted.
Waste is not fraud, though. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Waste is not fraud.
Okay.
Waste we could reform, but that's not fraud.
Yeah, and I got some other statistics that we're going to continue to fact check every single one. When you're going to find out that 70%.
Whoa, hold on. Let me read this. Okay, are we ready? Governments in the United States currently spend about 4% of gross domestic product on public schools. That is in quotations. Those schools also employ about 4% of the nation's workforce. Although few will admit it, public education is clearly an anachronistic socialist institution with all of the characteristics of a typical Soviet enterprise. Yeah, that sounds like a credible fucking source, doesn't it, Blue?
What the
no bias there at all.
About right now.
That is from FEE. You're talking about the AI overview paperclip of inefficient spending, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I clicked that, went to the FEE that it takes you to from that little paperclip. That is the first, it says, how much do the public schools waste by John T. Wenders. That is the first two fucking sentences in that paragraph.
You're right. Let's use a different one. Let's use any one.
Give me one.
Because the debate here, whatever your name is
what is your problem with
fraud in our education system.
What is your problem with sources?
Wait a second. The debate is there's fraud in the education system.
Prove that.
And we want.
And you're saying prove that.
I'm not saying that there's not. I'm saying you guys. The problem
is fucking unbelievable.
The administration is saying that there is a significant amount of fraud to the point that we need to dismantle the Department of Education and split it up. I want to see where that fraud is, where that proof of that fraud is, not just them saying it. That is what I'm asking.
It's tough to find fraud. That's why it's called fraud. It's tough to locate it.
So we're just going to dismantle systems off of a feeling.
No, we're going to dismantle it off being 37th in literacy across the damn country after
what does the Department of Education do?
Love to just interrupt. No talking with you, huh?
What does the Department of Education do? It boots you. Thank you, Brandatello. W. Brandatello in the comments. It doesn't do curriculum. That's for damn fucking sure. Gosh, you guys are not smart.
At all.
Crashing out because I asked you for a source just proves the fucking point.
He was crashing out even before that.
I know. I was just like, get it out. Hey, if people in the chat, if you are using ableism, that would be using the word slow. Calling people slow is ableist. We do not use those terminologies. I love you guys so much, but we don't do that. Whether you are on the left, whether you're on the right, we do not use ableism. In this chat, you will be muted. How are you, Blue?
Doing better.
Doing better?
I was struggling with a cluster headache this morning, so I called in to work.
Not again.
Yeah, they keep coming. It's something that I'm just gonna have to deal with.
Oh, goodness me. You guys, let's boop that screen. Let's get to 10,000 likes while we're sitting here. I think we can do that. If you have, we are at 4 shares. Let's try to get up to 10. If you have not sent your daily heart me, please do so. I would really, really appreciate it so that we can keep having some conversations today. No, I didn't call him slow. I'm saying I saw one of my mods warning people to not use ableism. And so I'm saying do not do that. I was explaining the word they're using so that we don't use that word. Thank you. Greg, how are you today?
How are you?
I'm good. Did you vote for Trump?
Hell no.
Well, I appreciate you, Greg. Guys, W. Greg in the comments. Goodness. I am looking to speak to Trump supporters. Oh, God, why? Hi, Osa.
Hello.
How are you?
I can't complain. I'm TikTok surfing. How are you?
I'm good. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Well, my answer to that is why not?
That's not what my question is, though.
Yeah, because remember, we're in a two-tier political system where we have limited options. So if we believe that Trump is the better option, why not have the ability to vote
Sure,
for
I'm
him?
not
Why not
asking
choose
why
him?
you voted for him. I'm asking why you're still supporting him today.
Yeah, well, because in terms of why I support him, it's a myriad of reasons. Again, I believe that out of the candidates that were available to me, he was the better option. And in terms of why I support him today, is because he still represents my best interests. That's why I support him today.
Such
How is he
as,
representing your best interest?
Well, number one, he wants to protect the border. That's number one. And number two, he wants to protect American geopolitical interest also. And I think that's very important in keeping the integrity of the nation. You can't have a nation that's has our sovereignty overrun and potentially hurt in the future when you're in a position where you don't even manufacture a lot of your goods and you have a lot of trade deficits with other countries that have a better deficit than you do because we've become a nation of consumers and we really don't produce anything.
we
If
become
you
a
have a
service
president that's
economy.
We're a
trying to
service
level that
economy.
playing field, then I support that 1,000%.
Our biggest export is service. We're a service economy.
I know that's the point. We don't make anything.
Why is that a problem?
Well, it's a problem because it creates trade deficits and it
Our
puts us
trade
in a
deficits
position where
are
we
They're
become,
inherently
inherently
negative.
bad. Why?
well, this is why. Because when you have a trade deficit, like in the case of China, we're in a position where we've become dependent upon someone else to manufacture our goods. When you're dependent, I don't care if it's a business or an individual or a nation, dependence on someone else to create and manufacture your goods is never a good thing. It puts you at a disadvantage.
Well, you have a trade deficit with the grocery store, don't you?
What do you mean by that?
Well, you get more from them than you, or you're giving more to them than you're getting, right?
I mean, you could say that. You could say that. I mean, a store is, but the difference between a store is, right, more often than not, you're talking about an American-based business. But in this case, you're talking about a nation versus nation, which is a little bit of a bigger scale and it's a little bit different. If
Sure.
you're dependent on China to produce steel for you and you're getting them, because think about it, why do we get stuff from China? Because it's cheap. Most people do, yeah, we do that.
hmm
So on the one end, it's good for the consumer on the one hand, but in the long term, it's going to be bad for the country.
How?
It's bad for the country because eventually what's happening is that you've become dependent upon another nation to produce your goods. That's why China has become a world power because we've really helped them in becoming a world power because we consume everything and we
Yeah, we have a
consume
world
way more than
economy
we
now.
produce. Huh?
We have a world economy now.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And like I said, I'm not against free trade or anything like that. But at the same time, I think it's important to be able to trade freely while at the same time protecting America's interests. I don't think
Well, I
that
want to
just
be clear when it comes to things
go
like
ahead.
tariffs. I don't have an issue with things like targeted tariffs for
Yeah.
specific manufacturing that I know that we could build up and do in this country. My issue is with the
Okay.
blanket tariffs that we know are harmful to the consumer.
Okay, so you don't have an issue with the steel tariff then, or the aluminum. You don't have an
Not
issue with that
necessarily,
from
not
China.
necessarily. As long as we are also getting simultaneous investment in that in our country by, government helping give subsidies out for things like that, then I don't really have an issue with that now.
Okay, okay, that's fine. That's
Mhm.
fine. Okay.
But we're not seeing that with everything. Like we can't grow bananas in the same way we have the demand for it. Same with
Hmm.
like coffee and things like that. And so my issue is that a lot of the times what he is doing is just to swing his whatever around, I guess, to try and make him seem like he's tough with other countries. Like he's putting tariffs on countries we don't even have deficits with.
Yeah, that was the point I was about to
I,
bring up.
I'm so
Like,
good.
what I was just about to ask, what's our trade deficit with Brazil?
The
Or,
trade
or
deficit with Brazil, I would have to look that up. I don't know it off the
It's a
top of my head.
surplus. We have a trade surplus, but we put a tariff on them anyway.
It
With
may
the
be it may
we
be
have
due
a
to,
good
because I know
trade
that.
surplus with UK, put a tariff on them anyway.
Yeah, because I do know this. What I do know is that there are countries that have tariffed us, but historically we haven't tariffed them. So I know a lot of these tariffs are reciprocal. So if they're going to
Okay, but
tariff us up, give us a blanket at 10, then they're like, okay, well, we're going to blanket you the exact same way. So it's reciprocal.
okay, for
Why
some of
shouldn't
them,
why
yeah,
why
but
shouldn't we offer
Brazil
a
didn't have
reciprocal
a.
tariffs if they're tariffing us
because I
10%?
know
Why can't we
I
offer the
know you know
same
how tariffs
tariff to
work,
them?
Osa.
Hmm.
You
I
know
know
how.
exactly how they work. I know exactly how they work.
Yeah, who pays for that?
Well, it depends. It depends. If you have a business that chooses to absorb the tariff, then it doesn't hurt
Sure.
the consumer. But if they don't absorb that, then obviously that's going to be passed on to the consumer.
Sure.
But
So
then,
that's why I don't
yeah,
like the terminology of like, well, they have it on us. Yeah, that's on their people to deal with then, right? Not us.
yeah. But what I'm saying is that again, it's not free trade then, and that's really Trump's argument. His argument is that wait a minute, you're benefiting off of our country because we're allowing you to export your goods to us duty free. So if you're not sharing the same
They're not.
courtesy, then it's not free trade then.
Tariffs are not the same as duties. Duties are separate. So, like, even before we had tariffs or reciprocal tariffs or whatever on Canada, if you're shipping something to Canada, you still pay a duty. Those are separate taxes and fees. So, you're
But then,
using the incorrect terminology.
no, not really. I mean, tax duty. I mean, it's
You
not.
are.
I mean, it's
No, there's
interchangeable.
also
It's
then
not.
there's
It's not that much
tariffs.
different.
Taxes, duties, and tariffs are all separate things.
What's the difference between a duty and a tariff?
Duties are directly paid as like a tax in order to cover the shipping costs into another country typically. So like when I mailed somebody a piece of merchandise to Canada, I paid a duty for it, but I didn't pay a tariff.
Yeah. So, but anyway, like I was saying, again, it's not free trade if it's not a reciprocal free exchange and an equal exchange. You can't say it's a free trade if we're getting tariffed by one country, but yet, you criticize the United States for saying, okay, we're allowing you to import your goods here for free, and you're tariffing us when we export your goods
Again, my
to you.
criticism is
No, it's not
blanket
free trade.
tariffs and how he's using them. My criticism is blanket tariffs and how he's using them. I understand when you have China who has a 100% tariff on EVs from the US, I understand they're doing that to build up their EV market. I understand those things. Same with the dairy tariff in Canada that never happens to hit the threshold for, right? Like, I understand those things. A targeted tariff, like the Chips and Science Act, had a targeted tariff attached to it. So we could build up manufacturing chips here instead of buying them from Taiwan. The issue I have is when we take a country like Brazil that has a surplus, right? We're exporting more than we're importing with them. And Trump tariffs them broadly and blanketedly simply because his friend, who is under investigation because of a fraudulent election down there, that's a bad thing.
I'll put it this way. I don't think
No,
it's.
can you address what I said? Like, Trump
I
is
can address
actively
that.
putting
I would
tariffs
have to
on
look
stuff just
into
because he doesn't
Brazil.
like it.
So I'm going to address exactly what you said head on. So I don't know enough about the exact tariff on Brazil. So I would have to really look at that and then get back with you, right? But what I will say is this. I don't think it's a bad thing to look after American interests. I don't think
Right, but
it's
that's
a
not what
bad
he's
thing to do
doing.
that.
That's not what he's
Huh?
doing.
So
What
here's
did you
what
say?
happened that a lot of people seem to forget. is that after World War II, right, the American dollar became the international currency, correct? So after that happened, we moved out of becoming a manufacturing country. And so specifically, in order for us to go back to manufacturing, we have to go back to devaluing our dollar, which we see the results of that already occurring with the American dollar becoming devalued, because that's exactly what China did. They devalued their own currency in order to becoming a manufacturing superpower in the world, right? Like to send things out everywhere. We trade with China because we can't get everything in the United States that China can offer us. We can't get it from, not everything, but some things we can't get from other countries. Even then, because of whatever sanctions that might be on them, trade restrictions, whatever. We've never really had free trade. And then I like, at least you can acknowledge that us adding tariffs isn't even supporting free trade in any way, shape, or form.
Well, we get billions in revenue a month, so I don't know if the economic numbers agree with you.
From American companies. So really, we're just taxing the American people. You think the cost of your cars aren't going to go up because cars have to, like the parts for them have to go back and forth multiple times during the assembly process to, let's say, Canada, for example. Let's say a car can go back and forth 12 times during the assembly process to and from the United States and Canada. They have to pay a tariff additional on each time that goes across the border.
Okay, so then let me ask you this, Ari. Why are we tariffing Canada and Mexico? Ari. So then let me ask you this. Why are we placing tariffs on Canada and Mexico? Why do you think the United States government is doing that?
Oh, specifically because, in my opinion, Donald Trump got upset in his feelings after he signed the USMCA, forgetting that he's the one that signed it because he's the one that called the USMCA a bad deal and doesn't know who would sign the USMCA, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just because he was trying to strongman them into making an agreement for their border protection that they already had in place prior to Donald Trump even coming into office. They didn't even capitulate to him at all. He capitulated to them, taking an agreement from them that they were going to add everything that they had already budgeted for.
That's the thing. His whole thing is that, look, he's not against free trade in particular, but what he's against is getting screwed. So if he feels that the United States government is getting into an economic agreement, like, for example, NAFTA or USMCA or whatever trade deal, and it's really putting us at a disadvantage or it's not an equal exchange, he's going to have an issue with it.
So you're saying he put us at a disadvantage?
I just want to be clear. The trade deal that he negotiated.
Okay, well, you're not allowed to make mistakes or an issue.
Right, but
You
he
make a
didn't call
mistake
it.
and say, you know
He
what?
said, I don't know what
let
fool
me-
did that. Like
But
that
hold
was
on a second. If I could finish. So, if you could say, if you could say that, okay, you know what, I engaged into this trade agreement, and then I realized later on that, wait a minute, this is not so good. Let's renegotiate. I'm not going to hold it against you. You made a mistake, and at least you're acknowledging the mistake that you made, and now you're looking to renegotiate. I don't have an issue with that.
He's
he
not
didn't do that though.
Yeah, he's not trying to renegotiate it. He's just actively violating the trade deals that he made.
And he's saying that he doesn't know who made the deal. He's not taking ownership of this, of the mistake.
It would be different.
But you do realize, I mean, with the executive branch, I mean, just government in general, there's a lot of different moving parts. So a lot of these trade agreements were set in place prior to his arrival, going back to the 90s.
But if we're talking specifically about the USMCA, it's a deal that he made, he signed off on, and then claimed that he doesn't know who did it and it's terrible.
Just because he signed off on it doesn't mean that he orchestrated and made it.
He took credit for
Did
it.
it?
I don't think you heard what I said. I said just because you sign off on a deal doesn't mean that you negotiated the deal.
He took credit for the negotiation in his first term.
Just because you did, I'm gonna say it again. Just because you did that doesn't mean that he is the one who set the deal in place.
The pretzels you guys will do to give Trump an out. It's really wild. Like he takes credit for all these things. He doesn't ever say he's made a mistake or that he's taking a new path and he was wrong the first time. He called his own deal terrible, but didn't say it was my fault and I'm going in a new direction. He never said that. He just said the deal was terrible as if it wasn't him.
Okay, well, see, there you go. See, he acknowledged it. You know what? This
No,
deal
he
is terrible.
didn't.
And of course, you just said that he did. You just
He
said
didn't
that.
acknowledge it
he
like
said
I
he doesn't
did
know who
this.
But
made
you
it.
just said he made. You just said
He
he
said
said it made a terrible deal. That's acknowledging it, though.
he
I
didn't
don't. I
say he
mean,
made a terrible deal.
now
He
who's
said it
pressing
was
who
a
now?
terrible deal. He
No.
took credit for it in his first term. Now he's saying he doesn't know who made the deal. He's contradicting himself.
It's the same with when he said he doesn't know who appointed Jerome Powell. It was him.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That's sorry. I think my camera being on was causing an echo or something. But no, that was
Okay, so I'll give you this then.
Or when he
So,
said he met the president of
on
Puerto
a,
Rico.
so he was on a while back. He did an interview on Joe Rogan, and all these issues that you're saying he didn't address, he addressed them then. He actually acknowledged and admitted that he made a lot of mistakes in his first term. He
Only
admitted that.
mistakes he made. The only mistakes that he claimed that he made during that interview was that he quote hired the wrong people, even though he claimed that they were the best people. When
But
he
then
was
you're
hiring
saying,
them.
but you're saying
He was
didn't
saying that
acknowledge that he made a
that was the
mistake, and he
only
did.
mistake that he claimed that he made is that
But
he
there's
hired the
a lot
wrong
more
people.
mistakes than that. There's way more to it than that.
What other
If
mistakes
you
did he
said you
say
saw
he
the
made?
interview, whatever. So there's more than that. He said,
What
well,
other mistakes did he say he
he
made?
said this out of his own mouth, and I
Okay,
appreciate
which one?
it. He said, you know what? I got in, and there are a lot of mistakes that I made. I didn't quite know what I was doing, but I know I wanted to make a lot of different changes. And there are some successes, and this is his words, not mine. There are some successes, but then there are also some failures, and I could have did better on. And I'm like, okay, I can appreciate that, because a lot of politicians, you know what they'll do? They won't acknowledge the mistakes that they made.
All right, I'm
Right?
gonna
It's
check
okay
this
to make
transcript real
mistakes.
quick.
It's okay
No,
to make mistakes,
no,
but
he
I think
said.
the secret is to
No, he
learn from
said.
them.
He said his biggest mistake was picking bad, disloyal people. That's it. That's what he said.
yeah. He
Did you
didn't
watch that? It's
acknowledge
like 4
any.
hours long. You
I
watched that whole
literally
interview?
just found it.
You can
You
find the
watched the whole
transcript.
interview, 4
You
hours.
can find the transcript, which will take a lot less time than listening to him talk about tariffs being great or
The
circling
election
back and
again.
being
He's talked
unable
about the
to.
election again.
Yeah, how he still won the 2020 election. Yeah, like be so for real. He doesn't actually acknowledge that he did any wrong. He still continues to push blame on everyone else that he hired in under his administration, and then continues to run from there. That's exactly why he says, "I just hired bad people."
Yeah, he said mistake 6 times in this interview, and the first 2 times were him saying that he picked the wrong people. All the rest of them were saying somebody else made a mistake.
If you don't take accountability, you won't even acknowledge that that's a mistake. That's my point.
Yeah, at no point does
Oh
he
my
say
God.
anything. Yeah, I also have it up as well. At no point does he say that like he didn't know what he was doing. He says, quote, if the one mistake, because I had a lot of success, great economy, great everything was great. The military, we rebuilt it, biggest tax cuts in history, all the stuff we did. We had a great, he's not even acknowledging a mistake here. The second time, quote, the biggest mistake I made was I picked some people. I picked some great people, you know, but you don't think about that. I picked some people that I shouldn't have picked. I picked a few people that I shouldn't have picked, and then he's cut off by Rogan. Third time, quote, somebody made a big mistake. Fourth time, quote, they got caught by mistake. But don't you think that's to me, and don't forget, this is election interference and fraud, and it's 60 Minutes. It's their news division. Fifth time, quote, they had environmental permits that would fill the whole room up to the ceiling, and they said there was one mistake on one little line. They wouldn't, they wanted them to do them all over again. I said, it's not going to happen, and I got their permit instantly, and they built the plant. It's massive. Sixth time, quote, but when he saw what happened in Afghanistan and how horribly that was handled, number one, you take the soldiers out last, not first, okay? That was their big mistake. And we had that thing charted out, and they weren't obeying us. They weren't, Abdul is the head of the Taliban. Boom, boom. He had to do all these things. Some he didn't do. I said, nope, you gotta do it all, end quote. So no, at no point, at any point during this interview, did he say, I made a mistake. I did not know what I was doing. I would like to do it all over again.
Or that,
King
did he say failure at
on the
any
word
point,
mistake
Vic?
within a transcript without looking at the entire 3+ hour
I
interview without context is really not going to tell you much of anything.
Open. I have the
This is the
entire
transcript
thing
of that
open.
3+ hour interview.
And you read through all of it. Get the hell out of here. Stop.
We
So
can
when
control
you-
F.
Hey, King, when you say
Yeah,
Trump
you did
said,
control
I
F
made a
for the
mistake,
keyword mistake. That's not the same as actually sitting by and
That's
listening
him
to the
taking
entire
accountability, would be saying I made a mistake.
King, you tell me precisely what he said, and I will look for it in this transcript to find it.
The only thing I can tell you is you have to. I can't really tell you that, and then you believe it.
He
You have to
didn't
look and
Yeah,
see
you
it and
can't.
watch it for
Oh
yourself.
gosh.
That's
He
the
didn't
best
say
thing
it.
I can tell
Hey,
you.
Kristen.
He didn't say it.
Vicky, King also made the claim that Donald Trump admitted that he had failures. Is failure anywhere in that transcript?
Sure. Let's look for failure.
You're
Oh,
right.
he's gone.
You run.
Not a single time.
You guys put the runner emoji in the chat if you are subscribed to me. I have a lovely runner sticker that you can use.
Yeah,
The word failure does not appear in this transcript whatsoever.
That's funny. Why is
Yeah,
that not
it's-
surprising?
and saying that it's a mistake that you picked the wrong people still isn't saying that you made a mistake. It was saying that those people weren't good
Made
at their job.
mistakes.
Specifically that they were disloyal.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the phrase "didn't know what I was doing" does not appear at all in this transcript.
Oh, he did make that claim too.
I'm also really tired of the terminology free trade. I'm over it because my thing is that if you want free trade the way free trade is actually meant to be, what you want is you should go watch a playthrough of BioShock because that's what you want. That's what free trade is. Not anywhere would you actually do free trade that way ever.
One thing I wanted to mention before he ran, specifically talking about tariffs and quote reciprocal tariffs. A lot of you probably don't know. There's this thing we have in place called the AGOA. It is the African Growth and Opportunity Act. There are a lot of African nations that are protected by the AGOA, Botswana being one of them. As of August of this year, I think we threw like a 15 or 20 or no, it was 30. It was 30+% in August against Botswana, right? For reciprocal tariff on goods. The only thing, the biggest thing that Botswana imports to the United States that we buy from Botswana, the reason we are always going to have a quote unquote trade deficit with Botswana is because we import diamonds from Botswana.
Dun, 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 dun.
We import diamonds from them. So yes, of course, there is going to be a quote-unquote trade deficit from Botswana, which trade deficits don't exist between countries. They exist between companies because of that. And Botswana is protected by the AGOA. They are protected by it, which grants them like immunity effectively and like duty-free access to like U.S. markets.
Nuh-uh.
Peabody said, "What do we get from the Penguins? Obviously, pebbles."
No, we get WINE. There's actually a brand that it's Penguin WINE. There's a brand. It's funny.
Nice.
Like Botswana is supposed to be protected by the AGOA, but we said fuck it. No.
Yeah, we always say fuck it. What you
Yeah,
talking
you
about?
have to have that context of like, what are we getting from this country? How we get ices? No.
So let's be clear, right? All these Republicans that want you to get married first and then have kids and whatever, the cost of proposing is going to go up.
You guys, let's keep booping that screen. Let's get to 25,000 likes while we're here for the last like 20-ish minutes. Share that live out. Let's get up to 20 shares if we can do that. And if you have not sent your daily heart me, please do so. Gasp, Kristen.
Hey, go ahead and eat me. I'll finish my lunch, and that way the panel's not stacked.
Okay. Bye, Audie. Let's do, Michael was yelling about being let up. Hi,
Yo,
Michael. How are you today?
splendid.
Okay. Did you vote for Trump?
Yes.
Why are you still supporting him?
I was gonna ask you something first.
Cool. Well, this is my live and my prompt. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Oh my god, what a bitch. Bye.
No, cry about it.
Nah, you
What
bad.
the fuck?
Nah, you bad. You bad.
I was gonna say save your own life, but you can't.
Why, baby?
Wow.
What a fucking crybaby.
Mm-hmm. Get it out. You okay? You okay there?
You getting your minute of fame here in front of
Like,
300
like
some people?
this is effectively the same kind of temper tantrum that a 4-year-old throws when their mother says, "No, we can't have McDonald's."
My
Like,
kids
that's-
don't even act like that. Actually.
That's what this is.
Hello?
Mega, this you?
So why are you still supporting Trump?
What do you mean?
What policy are you still supporting of his?
So the word "why" is an interrogative. It poses a question. Are you, referring to you in the instance of said interrogative, still is sort of it's an example of like time over a graph. So like still implies that you did at one point, you currently are as well. Supporting is a verb. It means that you are effectively still behind. You are promoting this person. You are in favor of the things that they're doing. Trump is the president. I don't know if you know who that is. The president is the highest executive seat in the United States of America. So when you're asked, quote, "Why are you still supporting Trump?" It's a relatively, at least I think, succinct and straightforward question.
The president is not the highest.
He's not the president. Is not the highest executive seat in the country.
That would be Benjamin Netanyahu.
So why do you still support Trump? Because he's supporting what Bibi's doing.
I don't support Trump.
Okay, so why are you here?
Came here to troll.
Trolls
You're
are
not very
supposed to
good
be
at it.
funny. Trolls are
Yeah,
supposed to
you-
be funny.
Really bad at this.
You weren't trolling. You were mad that a woman told you, "Hey, answer my actual prompt, the reason you came up here," and you crashed out. Everybody saw you crash out. I can clip it for you later if you would like to rewatch yourself crash out. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Come on, MAGA. I got like 15 minutes left before I go eat some leftover sausage and peppers. Oh, god damn it. That's not what I wanted when I asked, though. Careful what you wish for.
Oh, God.
Hi, Tortha. How are you?
I'm good.
Why are you still supporting Trump?
Well, I still support what he's doing.
Which is what?
Well, securing the border and going after the cartels.
Why do
along with
immigrants bother you?
They don't. I'm a Mexican immigrant myself. I was born
Aware.
in Mexico City.
Very aware.
Huh?
I'm aware.
Okay, yeah. So why would immigrants bother me if I'm an immigrant?
Why do you care about securing the border? He's not securing the border. We just brought
Right, because there's a humanitarian issue at the border.
How many Artel members did they just bring in? This is the headline.
It was 17 members of a family that were women and children that were brought in for a plea deal for witness protection. But the reason why I want to secure the border is because obviously the humanitarian crisis where Mexicans and other Latinos are being unalived, raped, taken for ransom, unaliving without water, drowning, just to try to make it here illegally, to have no benefits, pay taxes, and then possibly get deported. So I don't support that at all.
But they still would like to come here for a better life. Why wouldn't we just give them amnesty so that they can then gain those benefits?
I don't support giving amnesty to someone that, came in illegally. That's like if I broke into
What
Disney
makes
and
it
they gave me a
illegal?
free pass.
What makes it illegal?
Well,
Why are you playing in
being
our face?
undocumented.
Being undocumented
That's not illegal.
That's what makes it. It's literally called improper entry, US 13.
US 13? You want to try that again?
Isn't it US? Is it 8, 13, 25, something like that?
Improper entry. What's the punishment for improper entry?
Well, I mean, the first time, it's only a misdemeanor, and the second time would be a felony.
Oh,
Punishment is usually just deportation or removal.
But not the first time, just a fine.
Yeah. So,
Right.
I mean,
Why did you-
I'm not arguing that it should be more punished.
Porta-
I don't think it should be more punished. I just don't think it should be happening at
Porta-
all. Like we should
Porta-
be. Yeah.
Porta, which live did you learn about 8 USC on? Was it Emma's, Jess's?
I don't really keep track of any liberal lives. I knew that already since I'm a Mexican immigrant and know people that have immigrated here
Well, I
illegally
know
and I
you-
suffered the
You
consequences
don't
for
keep
it. I have
track of, and
family.
how come I know?
I have
who you are?
family that has literally been held. I have family that has literally been held for ransom by the cartel, which is why I care. I get that being a sheltered white woman, living in the U.S. where you never have to deal
Porta,
with the
stop
cartel.
playing in our face.
It gives you this opportunity where it gives you the
Sure.
moral high ground where you think that you know what you're doing.
Who's y'all in moral high ground lately when it comes to me? I've never heard moral high ground in my lives more than I have the last couple days. No,
If I can for a minute, I always think that like immigration is always the easy answer, like especially when it comes to these things, because realistically, Torta, I don't think you pay attention to the other things that are actively going on. So like that immigration is like a hot button topic and like everybody talks about it. Are you aware of what Trump was asked yesterday at the Kennedy Center? Specifically with regards to Russia. You're muted. You'll have to come off mute to respond, by the way.
My bad. So, like I said, the reason I care about immigration is
Torta. I am actively pivoting away because I think that
I know
immigration.
you were deflecting because you can't win the immigration.
Hey,
You can't win the immigration debate. You realize you have no good argument as to why you support
Torta,
illegal
we've had this
immigration.
conversation a billion
Hold on.
times.
You realize you have no good argument to support illegal immigration.
Torta.
I'm not
My
supporting-
my argument is I think borders are completely fucking irrelevant. I don't. You could not convince me to fucking care about.
That's very sheltered and white of you because you've never had to deal with
Correct.
crossing a border.
Hey,
You've
you're
never
right.
left.
But I also don't think borders are fucking real. Right? And I'm asking you a different question because I don't think you pay attention to the other things that are going on. So I'm just asking you, are you aware of what Trump was asked yesterday with specific regard to Russia at the Kennedy Center?
No, I don't really pay that much
Because you say that you support the things that he does, okay? So he was asked specifically by a reporter.
I think that he does
that-
are very different.
Torta, you said that you support the things that he's doing. I'm going to let you know what he was asked, and then I'm going to ask you if you do support these things and if you can to justify them, right? So Trump was asked yesterday at the Kennedy Center by a reporter. This was on Fox, by the way. He was asked by a reporter if he was aware of the reporting that was coming in that Russia had hacked into federal systems and had access to court documents. This happened back in July. We've now gotten the documentation coming out of this. This is why a lot of courts across the country have had to go back to old school paper filing system to retain their documents because this hack exposed the identity of confidential informants across the country, as well as a lot of different other things. Trump's response to this was, quote, "What do you expect? It's what they do." That was verbatim his response to this. Now, with that, the things that Trump has done that directly led to this, he doged a third of the federal cybersecurity team, cut their funding with the big, beautiful bill. Thankfully, they still had some of their budget that was saved in the final product, but not by him, and it was still cut from civilian defense. And they blew a lot. They blew apart a lot of fresh, brand new recruits that would have come in here. Hegseth halted U.S. cybersecurity operations against Russia, as well as completely dismantling the CSRB, which is the Cybersecurity Review Board, at the beginning of his administration, while they were actively looking into Salt Typhoon, which was one of, if not the largest cybersecurity events in United States history, which was performed part in due to China and part in due to Russia, and we will never know what information they took. We will never know how bad that was. So when you say that you support Trump and the things that he's doing, can you please explain to me and justify how we have now made ourselves weaker because of this?
Yeah.
And
So
I say this as somebody who works in like cybersecurity, specifically with like businesses in the defense industrial base.
wow, congratulations. Yes, to start off with your claim, what Donald Trump said when he said, "What do you expect?" I completely agree. What do you expect from people that are trying to steal our information from our adversaries from competing countries? Do you expect them not to try to steal our information? Do you expect them not to hack us? I mean, if they come out tomorrow and say China hacked the U.S., I would not be surprised one bit, right? Because China is obviously going to try to hack the U.S. It's not shocking at all.
Torda, can you?
Are you just going to let me respond, or are you going to keep talking?
Can you go ahead and
I didn't interrupt you at all.
Can you go ahead and skip to the part where you justify what he did that allowed this to happen?
Yeah, I was trying to get there, but you interrupted. So obviously, he was right about what do you expect. With his cuts to the with the big beautiful bill that you mentioned, I'd have to fact check that, but I do support cutting any wasteful spending. I do support cuts to the federal government. So yeah, I'm glad you deflected from immigration and realized you have no winning argument there.
No.
You
Can
can't
you
support illegal immigration.
justify? So CISA, CISA. You can look this up. They were slammed by Trump for being, quote, part of the censorship industrial complex as part of the industrial bill. Though I would like to add as well that in the first Trump administration, specifically the CISO, the federal CISO, worked hand in hand with CISA specifically to create and enforce the CMMC plan, which is the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, which was put in place to work in pars with DFAR 7012, NIST 800-171, to create these rules specifically for organizations that work in the defense industrial base. You are not going to remember any of this. This is what I do for a living, to like create these things for these businesses to work on, to create these things for the defense industrial base to secure our information, right? So Trump is responsible for this work that CISA did, only to turn around and slash their budget by $500 million, which CISA is incredibly important to our overall cybersecurity defense in the United States. Thankfully, again, part of their budget was saved, but not due to him. So again, can you justify for me, please, how the Trump administration has like made us somehow better after actively hampering our ability to defend our information systems from foreign adversaries, and why you support that?
Yeah, I think there's a big misconception that people have that the U.S. government is very efficient, that the federal government is efficient, that the people are actively doing their jobs and doing a good job.
CISA is not a federal agency.
Okay, that's good. Well, I don't think that we should. If you're not a federal agency, how do you fund them?
All I want you to do, we provide funding and grants to all sorts of non-federal agencies. What are you talking about?
Okay, perfect.
All the time. So again, all I want to know, Torda, is
that's
justify?
the biggest issue.
Can you justify making our cybersecurity sphere weaker, and why you support that?
Well, I think that's your opinion that it's weaker. I think we have the strongest country right now, since we have a leader that's actually coherent and doesn't have dementia.
It's not just my opinion.
I think China and Russia are going to be attacking us constantly, trying to hack us.
He's coherent.
I get that you think you're an expert on. Hold on, are you going to let me respond?
No.
Well, considering this is the realm in which I work, this is 100%.
I know you think you're an expert on security.
Torda.
You're an expert on cybersecurity.
Please, by all means, tell me your credentials.
Yeah, Mexican immigrant.
No. When it comes to cybersecurity, what are your credentials?
Expert on immigration. You couldn't even cite the goddamn law for a second there.
What are your?
So it's not U.S. Code 8-1325.
And that took you a minute, didn't it?
Hey, Torda.
No,
What are your credentials?
It's Title 8 U.S. Code.
What are your credentials in this realm? I can rattle off mine. What are yours?
I just told you, but I think you're very good at listening. I don't know how you got any credentials without the ability to listen.
So I'm what's called a CCA. I also have penetration testing under my belt. I have cybersecurity certifications under my belt, Sec Plus, all the fancy like
penetration testing
like things. Hey, so like this is quite literally what I do for work. Like this.
What does it mean to have penetration testing?
He heard a word he liked.
So like this is what my degree is in. This is what I do for work. So like out of the two of us, yes, I am the subject matter expert when it comes to this.
Kind
You
of
like
fun.
to
Which is why I never brought it up.
No, I did. Right, because I think immigration is just like an easy button, right?
Yeah,
So I'm talking about
Yeah, it
things
is very easy.
Torta, I'm talking about the things that Trump has been asked.
I don't think anyone would be in favor
Torta.
of legal immigration.
Torta. The reason I'm not talking about immigration is because it's an easy button. Because like you guys don't pay attention to the other things that the Trump administration is doing. You don't pay attention to how they are actively making the country weaker. So when I posit these things to you, you don't have any fucking clue what's going on.
I did. You just
if we want to get rid of illegal immigration, we need to stop destabilizing the fucking countries in the South.
Yeah.
If we leave them the fuck alone, and we would have left them alone since before fucking time, we wouldn't be having this issue. So stop trying to argue this shit.
them, Naquan?
Stop trying to
Stabilize.
Who said Trump?
Exactly.
Did I
Trump is the
say
one fixing it.
Or did
Trump
I
is the one
say
fixing it.
we?
Naquan, we agree.
Did I say Trump or did I say
Naquan, we
we?
agree.
No, Trump is not fucking fixing
Agree.
it because the person that actually got money raised for the southern countries was VP Harris, not Trump.
The lady who said do
Not Trump. It was VP Harris, and that's why she was a VP. So again, stop trying to argue some shit you really don't give a fuck about, only because you want to overtalk people with your bullshit. I don't give a fuck that you're a Mexican immigrant. I really don't.
You
I don't
pulled
give
the
a fuck.
ladder. Congratulations, you pulled the
If
ladder. That's
we
awesome.
leave these other fucking countries
You did.
alone, they wouldn't have to run here for their fucking lives. Now talk about a different topic because that's the only thing you want to talk about, and you get cooked on it.
Trump didn't destabilize
You
any
get cooked on it.
Good job.
You should ask Bolton
mute
about that.
proves that
You should ask Bolton about Venezuela under the Trump administration. If you don't think that the Trump administration helped destabilize any country.
Sure, what'd they do?
Yeah. They put in a coup. They instituted a coup. They admitted to that. The
Oh,
CIA.
really? And who did they install? Who did they install?
Every U.S. president has.
She doesn't know what she's talking about.
I
every
do.
US
The fact you have to
A
mute
bunch
me
of
proves
different
it, though.
coup names. Don't know if you know this. We've done
You
this
have to
over the
mute
course
me
of this
proves
for a
it.
long time.
Keep muting me. It proves my point.
No, I'm gonna keep muting you because all you do is over fucking talk. I don't know who.
Unlike
you're
you,
talking
I like
about.
to actually be clear about what I'm talking about.
I don't-
so look it up.
I don't give a fuck about you if you mute me out one bullshit. You got a mandingo sitting on your neck. I won.
Watching out. Watching out. Racist liberals.
You don't even know what that means, Torta. Like, shut up.
Did you just call me
Yeah,
racist?
Naquan and Blue.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Please,
Yeah, Naquan, you're racist.
please tell me what the fuck racist is and how do it function. Please tell me.
Yeah, it's someone who believes they're racist
don't let 'em
superior
give
to
it.
another
Don't-
race.
no,
That's obvious.
No.
He's
Tell me,
unfortunate. all over
tell
the
me
place.
how
don't
racism.
don't give them don't give
Yo,
them.
she's still pulling it up. I
That's
want
fine.
you
Keep muting me though. I'll have fun.
I want you to tell me how it functions.
You guys lost it.
You motherfuckers love to use it.
You lost.
John Bolton admitted to a failed regime change in Venezuela.
No, he ran.
John Bolton admitted to that. That was in 2019. He's so insufferable. He's an immigration expert, sure.
We actively get cooked on that shit. GT just cooked him the other night. Aaron cooks him just about every other fucking day. It got to the point that they don't let none of his accounts up no more. So he probably never came up on that account over here because once he comes on that account and on his main account, he switched to his backups, which he has about 4 of them. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
We
They don't
kicked
let
him
him
on my
up.
live a couple of weeks ago.
By the way, getting articles from Peabody about how it is being reported that Trump is going to be offering Russia minerals from Ukraine as part of the deal.
But if we against if y'all keep saying we against wasteful spending, they sent out over about 1,000 special agents the other night, and only made arrests of 20 fucking something people, and most of them was fucking people that had warrants already. and for smoking a joint.
Wild. I know that there are people in the. Oh, you invited people. Oh no, you muted. I know there are people in the box. It is pretty much noon. I don't want to go over because I know my kids will be getting hungry here. It'll be time for lunch, so I am just going to get ready to do my spiel. Y'all can come back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow, and you can wait in the box and come try and yell at us then. So, Thick, I appreciate you and your knowledge, and how dare you go after such an expert like that? I can't believe you would do such a thing.
Right.
Wild.
Immigration expert, you can't do that, Nick.
Oh, bye, Blue, my friendy friend. Audie is going to do her thing and get rid of the people.
Later.
Bye, Naquan. All right, guys. What does it say? Help the poor children. Yep, my poor children. Help the poor children. I know. I'm a stay-at-home mom, which is what you guys want me to be, but you also hate me for doing that thing. I'm only on live for like 2.5 hours. It's bugs the shit out of you guys. Tomorrow's Friday. Yay. So we will be back tomorrow, Friday, anywhere between 9:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you. I will be back. This was a restart, but if anybody is here from my original one this morning, I want to make sure that I am talking about Vernari. Thank you for the amount of gifts that you sent me. I really, really appreciate it. Brandatello and Cole for all of the swans for the Vominosing. On the Blue app, I got What the Fuck Were You Thinking? Sent me 40 on the Blue app today. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And 13 Dot with the 10, excuse me, on the Cash app. Also, real quick, I forgot. Don't let me forget. I got $1 on the Blue app from Iron, who said Torta is a weird Dean fanboy, and he's a red flag. I'm not shocked by that at all. That's absolutely terrible, but thank you all so much. I was talking about the fact that I have to do a big grocery trip without my SNAP card to try and get lunch and snacks for my kids because they start school this week. And so honestly, like even just this will really, really help me be able to do that because the food is expensive, but it's not that expensive. But I will definitely be using that to get food for my kids this next week as they start school. And so I appreciate you guys. What's wrong with Dean? You can look out there. There's a lot of information. I mean, he's not doing anything wrong. It's just I'm tired of YT men. Anyway, Parker's. Anyway, so love you guys so much. I appreciate you. I hope you guys will be back tomorrow. We get to celebrate our Fridays and hopefully have some more conversations. I appreciate you guys so much. If you go to the tree of links in my bio, there are more ways to contact me. I do have an Instagram that you guys can go. That's where I post a lot more of my other content. I've been posting my lives onto the Red YouTube app so that you guys can watch those there. As well, if you've missed parts of the live or just want to rewatch some of your favorite parts, those are in there. I also have a Discord. There's a small little level of verification to get in. But once you are in, we talk about things. We post sources. We post news articles. We have funsies. You can post selfies, post about your cats. Love to talk about your pets. And love to see you do that. So there are other ways to contact me up in my bio. See you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.